All right, welcome back. Here is our second example for our percent equation. So here's our problem. Find 5% of 60. Notice this time that instead of saying what is, I put the word find in. But find is the same thing as what is. So remember I said our first step is to plug everything in according to our formula. If you see the word find instead of what is, you can always substitute what is. All right, so we're going to draw our fractions. We're going to put the 100 in the denominator right away. The first thing we see when we read is what is. That means we don't know the is. Remember we said we're going to put a variable in. Then we continue reading. We see 5%. Well, where does the percent go? In the numerator of the second fraction. We'll put a 5 there. And the last thing we see is of 60. Okay, and where does the of go? In the denominator of the first fraction. So this is our step one. We have everything set up. Set up is our step one. Step two is cross multiply. So we take the n times 100, and that gives us 100n. And we set that equal to whatever 60 times 5 is. You guys should be able to figure out 60 times 5. 6 times 5 is 30. So
300.
60 times 5 is 300. So 100 n equals 300. All right, our last step is divide. So we have set it up, cross multiply, and divide. So we're going to divide by the number attached to the n. And when I say divide, we divide both sides by the number attached to the n. So these hundreds will cancel, and our answer equals, our answer, well, what's 300 divided by 100? 3. Our answer is 3. Okay, let's move on to our third example. 7% of 800 is what? Notice I have already set up that we're going to do 3 steps. Step 1 is plug everything into our formula. So we know the 100 never changes. All right, let's read. 7%. Where's the percent go? Is over of equals percent. Oh, 7 should go here. Now we keep reading. Of 800. Okay, is over of. So 800 should go down here because that's where the of is. Keep reading. Is what? Okay, remember when we see the word what, it's our variable. So the n will go in the numerator. So step 1 is finished. Step 2, remember, is cross multiply. So n times 100 is 100n equals, let's figure out what 800 times 7 is. 800 times 7. All right, 8 times 7 is 56. We put our 2 zeros. So 100n equals 5,600. That's step 2. Step 3 now is to divide. 100n equals 5,600. And we're going to divide both sides by 100 to get our answer. These hundreds cancel, and it means our answer is, well, let's see. We can cross off these last zeros. 56 over 1 is the same thing as 56. So our answer is 56. All right, let's work on another example. This is example 4. What is 16% of 90? 16% of 90. So again, let's go back. We have our 3-step process. First thing we see, what is? So again, what means our variable? So the is what we're looking for. Next, we see 16%. Where does the percent go? Over the 100. So we need to put 16 here. And last but not least, of 90. So the 90 should go in the denominator because that's where the of goes. So we've done step 1, which is setting it up. Step 2, cross multiply. N times 100 is 100n equals, well, we got to figure out what 90 times 16 is. 90 times 16. So I don't know what that is off the top of my head, so we'll do it off on the side. 6 times 0 is 0, 6 times 9 is 54. Put our space holder, 1 times anything is that thing. Okay, so we get a 0, a 4, 5 and 9 is 14. Okay, so that means 90 times 16 is 1,440. So 100n equals 1,440. All right, step 3, take that 100n, what we just got, and divide both sides by 100. Why by 100? Because that's what's attached to the end. We want to get that away from the end. These will cancel. N equals, well, we can cross off that 0 and that 0, and now it makes our division a little bit easier. 10 into 144. So 10 goes into 14 once, with 4 left over. Bring down the 4. 10 goes into 44 4 times, with 4 left over. Here we can put a decimal point and a 0. Remember, you can have as many zeros as you want. 10 goes into 40 4 times with nothing left over. So our answer, n equals 4.4. All right. There are some more complicated word problems that will be on your quiz. We'll do that in the next video. See you soon.